Hello everyone. It is time to start the session, I think. My session is on Django REST APIs. This is going to be a very quick introduction for anyone who wants to start building their APIs. This is if you want to go the basically the SQL way, or if you want to have your database having relational database type of scenarios. Uh, a good starting point would be to create a Django, learn from Django or Flask or something. But if you want to create an API, I think Django and its whole modularity is very good. So I would prefer you to use Django REST framework. It's an awesome tool and it's been developing for over, I think, 10 to 12 years now, maybe even more, I think. And so it's really, really useful if you wanna like go into the API building stuff. So I'm gonna show you a very quick demo on how to build your first API in Django REST framework. But with all due respect, I'm gonna say that you need some amount of prerequisite. First of all, you should know Python because Django is entirely built on Python. You should know how to use pip to install stuff. It's very easy. You just pip install anything. And if you don't know how to just set up a basic Django project, uh, there is this is gonna be a Medium article. It's gonna be on our IEEE blog on medium.com, and from there on you can start your like basic Django project. If you don't have time for that, you can just copy and paste this code. So if you want to start a project, you can just go the Django admin start project and do this and migrate. This will initiate a database and this will create an app called To-Dos. In today's class, we are gonna just create a simple to-do app like an API that you can put your task and everything on. So I hope I am audible. I'm just gonna share some of the things that you do. So I'm not going to go into the basic of how to create a basic Django app. I think it's been very well covered. But if you want to create an API, it's super easy. If you know how to do Django and stuff, the video link I have provided in the Medium article is good enough. It's around, uh, depending on if you want to learn the whole Django, it takes you 10 hours. But if you want to learn the basic, it's just half an hour to 1 hour. Just you can. That's going to be enough for you to start building your own API. So, uh, I'm still going to talk about some basic Django concepts. One of them is creating models. What is a Django model? It's basically a representation of your database tables that you use to uh, create some kind of that you use to like store data. It's an ORM. Django provides an ORM for you to link your models with the database tables so that you can put data into a data table without writing the boilerplate SQL code. So how are you going to do that? I have created a sample project here, and I hope it's visible to you. Okay, so I have just created a simple project file here. It has around, so when you create a start app, this is the to-dos app that you have just created. And this is the basic default app that comes with uh, Django initial project. Okay, there are a couple of things you need to do. First of all, you need to add the to-dos app. Just copy paste this line in your installed apps and install REST framework that you make sure that is initiated by the our Django manage.py file. This is a REST framework that you say that anyone can access your REST framework API. This is not good in production, but since we are just learning the basic of it, uh, just include this line here. We'll go into detail later. Okay, so once you create your Django API, just create a path to this for this file here. And okay, I will explain this basic settings to you. So this is the URL patterns that you use to access your API. If you're gonna create an API, you need to have some kind of visual representation to see how your API is performing, how you're gonna test it. So if you include this line, these are the two views that are gonna render on our Django API page. Okay, let's just quickly see our model. If you are going to create a simple to-do app, we need only two data fields here. So just simply create a. We're gonna need a title, like what is the name of the task, and it's gonna be a maximum length of two. The star field is used to give a table. You used to give a field to your table that has around 200 characters in it, and you're gonna have a body, like describing what is the task and everything. And you do it just to close the whole the loop of your class. So how it's gonna access and how it's gonna work. Okay. Now I'm gonna just use a view here. Now, what are views? Views are used to render your Django models basically. It, in deeper sense, you will see that the Django models need to connect to a template. What Django does is it follows a paradigm called model view controller or model view templating, and what it does is takes your model, connects to a view that we are going to write now, and then the view connects it to a template. The URL comes in between, but we're just going to take it as a one form here. Okay, so I'm going to write my view here, and just a second. Um, okay, so I'm going to write my view here. It says from just basically we are not going to include our REST framework right now. We're just going to simply create a simple generic list API view, and we're just going to follow the model of our the to-do model that we just created a few moments before. Okay, so what this does is that it shows that we are going to query all the fields in the to-do model, and we're not going to include a template here. Instead of template, we are going to have a serializer class that has to do the serializer. We're going to define it later. Okay, and this is our second, which shows more about our task and all. So this is basically same. Okay, I need to import my model here. Okay, now we also need. Sorry, here we have a typo here. Okay, we also need a serializer form here, and it shows the serializers is not defined. Um, the reason being is that even though REST framework here is obtained, we have not defined the serializer in our model class. So what I'm gonna do now is create a serializer file here, serializers.py, and I'm gonna write a simple serializer that represents our model in the API framework. So from REST framework import serializers, from models import our model, and from class we're gonna create a simple serializer that takes field ID, title, and body. You see these fields are exactly matching our model's field here. Now you might see a new ID here. It requires because every API request is going to have a unique ID associated to it. Otherwise, all the data will be hard to identify it individually. It's pretty basic stuff. Okay, now just to recap, what have we done? We created a simple Django API, Django package, like a simple Django project. I'm sorry. We just included REST framework in our installed app. Uh, we c- uh, we just connected our URLs to a URL of our app. It's called To Do app or To Do here. We register with admin. It's our you can skip this part, but if you want to, if you don't have a UI right now, that you can use the admin file. It's all in the video that I provided, where you can know how what is the admin and how to access it. Basically, Django provides you with all the uh, necessary UI you need to just deploy your database on the go without having a template or anything. Okay, so we're gonna run the server. Hopefully, it works. Oh wait, we have an error, I think. Yeah, yeah. Uh, we're gonna need a list API view here because we're not using any template, so the view won't be able to realize that uh, we need to deploy this on our API package instead of our template image. Okay, this should fix it as far as I think. Um, okay. So all these generic classes are built into the REST framework class library. So you can just access it via VS Code, and then this will help you write all the boilerplate code that you need. You don't have to define how it will work. The Django part handles it for you. Okay. Now let's see if our API is working. Yeah. So you see this is deployed now. Okay. I'm just gonna show you. So this is what admin looks like, and you can see our package here. You can see our database model here. So I'm just gonna write complete DA. Last date is 29th of October, and I'm gonna save it. Now you can see a new entry is created, and now let's see if I can access it. The default location for this is obviously localhost 8000, but instead of just running this, we're just gonna use the API here. So you can see this is our API. This is our list API, and this is the entry we created. Uh, with this, you have just created your first API. This is all it needs. Now, all the rest of the features like the authentication, authorization, JWT, and everything adds on top of this. But this is the basic ground. This is all you need to get started. There's nothing more. Uh, there's one more concept I need to tackle. It's called the Django course header or course, for example. And what you need for course is basically course means cross origin resource sharing. It's a mechanism that prevents hackers for accessing your server files uh, by pretending that they are basically the deployer instead of you. So course helps to you to avoid that. You can install course by going to setting and then simply installing course via pip and then typing course headers here, and then it will deploy it. Also, you need to have a middleware here, and that will do it. Okay, yeah. But right now I'm gonna remove it, otherwise it's not gonna let us deploy anything in our test here. Okay, sorry. Now this is all you need. I have a blog on the IEEE CS Medium blog channel. It's gonna be deployed in like what, around 15 to 20 minutes. So please go check it out. And here it has all the links and the code you need. Also, I'm gonna publish all the details here in our GitHub repository. And there you go. It's 15 minutes already, and I have shown you how to do all the Django. basic Django API stuff. All you have to do is just build on top of this. Just one more resource I should tell you is you can read the documents if you want to. It's just simply write Django REST framework. This is the official website of Django REST framework. It has almost everything you need to see what do you need to have authentication permissions and JWT everything. One more is Django modules. I think, yeah, Django packages. I'm sorry. So if you go to Django packages, it shows that whatever you need in your app on top of the API. For example, you need to have a Google authentication, or you need to install some kind of templating engine, or you need to have some kind of security measures. You can find all that in the Django packages here. You can search for it according to your uses. It has literally everything has been pre-built by awesome community of developers supporting the Django REST framework. Also, you can go to Django website. Uh, the basic Django website is like the most detailed documentation you can ever find in the web. It has everything, all the pre-built classes I showed you. It has everything built in inside of it. Like it has like detail of a whole page dedicated to a single class. So you will get to learn a lot about it. That's it, guys. It was a small session, I know, but I didn't want to clutter too much knowledge inside of it because, to be honest, you can keep learning and keep getting confused about it. That's why I just showed you the basics of it. That's all. Thank you.